Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Thursday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, and sports. I am Glenora Shipura. In the news tonight, Benita Imbamba, chairperson of the Erongo Regional Council Management Committee and regional councillor for Arandes constituency, celebrates the voluntary medical male circumcisions Namibia at 270K Smart Cards milestone event at the Mondesa Sports Field in Swakopmund. Desiree Gasses reports.
Today to deliver the welcoming remark, very simple. Today we are celebrating an important national milestone of 270,000 medical male circumcisions here in Erongo region. This achievement merits our celebration as part of male engagement in the fight against HIV and AIDS. Men have been known for years to have low health-seeking behavior. Throughout the HIV response, it has been men who have been slow to show up for services such as HIV counseling and testing, among others. This milestone demonstrates that men can go for health services given the right package of information, as well as the right motivation. Over the years, we have seen an increase in the number of men showing up for VMMC services, which has resulted in 270,000 smart cards among men and boys in Namibia. Give yourself omake, men, and keep up the good going. Next time when we come here, we must talk about 100,000. Not 100,000, sorry, but 500,000 we must double up. As I'm about to welcome you to this auspicious event, I would like to highlight that the Erongo region has contributed over 17,000 circumcisions. Erongo, next time when we come, we must be at 50,000. The region is committed to do more, and we trust that with the assistance from our development partners, we can do better. I would therefore like to welcome you all with a quote by Maya Angelou, which says, quote, "Do the best you can until you know the better. Then when you know better, do better," unquote. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to welcome you to take part in the voluntary medical male circumcision to 270,000 milestone celebration here in Swakopmund. Thank you very much.
February recorded a 15.27% decrease in live cattle exports from January, when 9,840 heads of cattle were exported to 8,337 heads in February. According to Meat Board's Market Watch for February, a growth of 2.76% was seen in cattle slaughtered at export abattoirs from January level of 3,910 to 4,018 heads in February. The decline in live exports was due to reduced demand for weaners by South Africa. On the other hand, slaughter price remained firm, attracting better export abattoir performance. The Meat Board said that the number of cattle auctioned, however, increased amidst a lower level of live exports, an indication of better retention of cattle in the country. Historic trends indicate livestock exports are to pick up in March, with similar trends that can be expected in slaughter and export and local abattoirs. Declines in the winter auction prices plunged to $33.29 per kilogram from the January level of $37.12 per kilogram. This decline is due to a drop in demand for winners in neighboring South Africa, where winner prices have also declined, said the meat board. South Africa is the main destination of Namibian winners. During February alone, 99.71% of live exports went to feedlots in South Africa, and only 0.29% were exported for farming breeding purposes. It said that the winner B2 price ratio currently stands at 52% for the month of February. This is 12% lower than the benchmark ratio of 64%. This drop implies that if the trend is sustained, it will be more profitable to grow winners to slaughter weight as opposed to export winners, said the meat board. It said that this drop implies that if the trend is sustained, it will be more profitable to grow winners to slaughter weight as opposed to export winners. Meanwhile, the meat board said that SAFEX feed prices have consistently remained below 5,000 Namibian dollars per ton for yellow maize for the past 3 months and are expected to follow this trend throughout 2023. In our next story, the Ministry of Gender Equality, Poverty Eradication and Social Welfare said it is worried about the violence and abuse which result in traumatic experiences that have serious, far-reaching and long-lasting, often lifelong consequences for victims and survivors. The ministry, through its acting executive director, Martha Mbombo, was responding to queries by Namibian Sun that the media is inundated with cases of rape against minors, so much so that police have declared it a pandemic which needs urgent intervention. As it stands, at least 5 minors are raped every month in the Omusati region. This has prompted the police in the region to issue a stern warning to parents not to leave children unattended, but the incidents continue even at the hands of the little ones' parents. 16 minors have been raped in Ohangwena region since the beginning of 2023, with the most recent and shocking of 2 girls aged 2 who are allegedly raped by an 18-year-old on Valentine's Day. Last month in Oshikoto region, a 50-year-old man was arrested at Linongo in the Oniba area for sexually assaulting his 5-year-old daughter last month. The police report shows that the accused allegedly inserted his fingers in the little girl's private parts without minding she was a minor. Oshikoto Community Affairs Officer Inspector Ellen Nehala said the immoral act occurred early hours when the victim was left with the father at home while the mother went to work. This week, Omusati police are searching for a 38-year-old suspect who's wanted for allegedly raping a 6-year-old minor at Oitende village in the Otapi constituency on Tuesday. Namibia currently has no legal framework that governs synthetic energy, despite entering the second year of pushing green hydrogen as a fuel of the future, and is yet to sign an implementation agreement with Hydrogen Energies. This is according to Franz Kalenga, Senior Manager for Sustainable Energies at the National Petroleum Corporation of Namibia, who is also the technical advisor on green hydrogen to the Minister of Mines and Energy. Kalenga also pointed out that measures are in place to allow the government to take out some equity beyond mere royalty payments and tax dues from the green hydrogen space. However, the incentives and corporate taxes will be outlined by the yet concluded Synthetic Fuels Act. All this is left for the birth of the Synthetic Fuels Act. Stakeholders' engagements have already commenced at the end of the second quarter of this year. We would have an idea of how typically the Act would look and communicate that to the investors. However, that should not stop us from proceeding with the current projects. That is just one of the components that green hydrogen is very huge. We have the legal framework existing. We just have to consolidate them so they become one law for that industry, he said. In 2021, Namibia chose Hyphen as the preferred bidder to develop the country's first large-scale vertically integrated green hydrogen project in the Tsaukaib National Park at an estimated cost of $9.4 billion, with the aim of producing 300,000 tons per year of green hydrogen for regional and global markets. Since then and up to now, we are about to conclude the implementation agreement that we are to sign so that the feasibility studies can commence. Roughly by the second quarter of the year, we would like the feasibility to kick off, said Kalenga. Consensus between all stakeholders on the model and financing for envisioned 5,000 hectares Nekartal irrigation scheme must first be reached before it can be designed. Agriculture Minister Karl Schleitwein said this at a stakeholder engagement in Keetmanshoop regarding the development plans for the Nekartal Dam project. Present was regional and local authority councillors, traditional leaders, farmers, Kara's Governor Aletha Frederick, officials from the ministry and Namwater. He said that they have bought about 11,000 hectares already, of which 4,000 hectares have been identified as good irrigation land. Schleitwein said that some possibilities on how the land can be divided are by using the existing green scheme module at the Nekartal irrigation scheme. You then have one large farming operator, a few medium-sized farming operations, and also small-scale farming operations attached to the same green scheme, he explained. Another module can be subdivided into several green schemes where only small-scale operators work one-on-one or only large-scale operators are one-on-one another. There are many possibilities, but there must be consensus on what module is best to use. It must be economically viable. Schleitwein explained that before there is no agreement on a module, they cannot design the irrigation scheme and plan where to put infrastructure. He further said that about $2 billion is still needed to finalize this project, and therefore consensus must also be reached on how the project must be finalized. He said that when the project was first perceived, money was readily available and the project was to be finalized with owned resources. In our story of the day, the renovation of Independence Stadium is yet to begin.
Namibia's hospitality is as vibrant as its people. Join the What's Cooking team as they travel the country cooking, chatting, and celebrating local personalities and the joy of food. If you think you have a standout offering, whether it's a restaurant, bar, pop-up event, or braai stand, get in touch with the What's Cooking team at cooking@synergy.com.na, and we will be there to show the world what's cooking. Programs air every Friday at 4 p.m. on all the NMH Facebook platforms, as well as on NTV, DSTV channel 285, and GoTV channel 94 at 9 p.m.
Let's take a look at our story of the day. As Namibia eagerly anticipates its partnership with Botswana to co-host the Africa Cup of Nations in 2027, concerns have arisen over the state of the Independence Stadium in Windhoek, despite a budget of $50 million being allocated for overdue renovations last year. The anticipated upgrades have yet to begin, leaving many wondering if the stadium will be ready in time for the prestigious football tournament. I think the renovation of the Independence Stadium is a dream. Dreaming and doing the work is something else. Let's put the two together and make it happen. The only sign of this dream coming to fruition will be if the brave warriors play at home. Until then, we can only hope that something is actually happening in that space, said football enthusiast and national team coach Colin Benjamin. With less than 6 years until the event, time is of the essence for the Namibian government to take action and ensure the stadium is up to par with the Confederation of African Football standards in order to host the event. Responding to questions regarding the status quo of the stadium's overdue makeover, the Ministry of Sports explained that renovations have not begun as they are still waiting for the facilities audit report, which was carried out by a consultant company in both Botswana and Namibia, appointed for the exercise as part of their bid preparations for the 2027 AFCON Games. Once we get the report, we will be in a position to embark on the renovation/upgrades in line with the recommendations made by the consultant. We are informed that this report will be ready on or before the end of March 2023. His facilities audit exercise did not only inspect the Windhoek Independence Stadium only, but also did inspect the Oshakati Independence Stadium and the Vineta Stadium in Swakopmund in line with our AFCON 2027 bid preparations, as we are required to have at least 3 stadiums which meet the CAF standards requirements to host such major football event like AFCON 2027. The Executive Director of the Ministry of Sports, Youth and Social Services, Mbumba Erastus Haitengela, commented. In economic news, after the break, the economic growth forecast was revised upwards.
The Regional Review brings you news, views, and interviews from NMH correspondents from across the country. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact regional@synergy.com.na.
The Bank of Namibia revised the economic growth forecast for 2023 upwards to 3% from 2.7% initially projected in December 2022. The economic growth forecast for 2022 has also been revised upwards from 3.9% to 4.1%. The improved growth for 2022 is largely based on higher production volumes from the diamond mining sector. Now, risks to domestic growth are predominantly in the form of monetary policy tightening globally and high costs of key import items that are likely to remain for the entire forecast period. We now take a look at our economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades at 18.60 to the US and 19.65 to the euro. It trades at 22.10 to the pound, and 2 Namibian dollars and 67 cents buys you 1 Chinese yuan. Zinc is up by 0.71% and Brent crude oil is up by 0.33%, trading at $82 and 93 cents per barrel. In the international slot, the United Kingdom opposition Labour Party plans on ambitious overhaul of childcare.
Chill Sessions is an entertainment show that brings you the latest hit, fashion, and entertainment news. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact chill@synergy.com.na. Chill Sessions, bringing art and entertainment to the people.
Britain's opposition Labour Party said on Thursday it planned to completely overhaul the existing childcare system to make it work better for families and the economy if it wins an election expected next year. Finance Minister Jeremy Hunt is under pressure to do more to tackle the cost of childcare in Britain, which is among the highest in the world, to help improve workforce participation among parents of young children and boost economic growth. The government currently provides piecemeal support, including 15 free hours a week for all 3- and 4-year-olds, but most providers say the scheme is underfunded and there is little help available when paid maternity leave ends at 9 months. What we need is not tinkering, but a bold and ambitious visions for how things can be better, Labour's education spokesperson Bridget Phillipson said in a speech in London. We now take a look at our weather. Sunny and hot weather is expected in Anana at 36 degrees and Wakana at 37 degrees. Partly cloudy weather is expected along the coast with a high of 23 degrees in Walvis Bay and 21 degrees in Henties Bay. The last round of cricket, Namibia's T20 Premier League, will be played this weekend. We'll tackle this story when we get into your sports news.
Sport Wrap is a daily show focusing on all sport news and current affairs. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact sportwrap@synergy.com.na.
Getting into your sports news, the last round of cricket, Namibia's T20 Premier League, will be played on Saturday in the capital, followed by the final on Sunday. United and Wanderers each have one game left, while CCD Tigers and WHS Old Boys each have two matches scheduled for Saturday. The current log standings are as follows: first, Wanderers 8 points, second, Tigers 4, and Old Boys and United third and fourth with no points on the board. The Commerce Athletics champs on 1 April at the Independence Stadium under the theme We Are One. The Regional Schools Championships will be hosted in collaboration with the Ministry of Youth, Sports and National Service, the Office of the Commerce Governor, Athletics Namibia, the Namibia Schools Sports Union, the Namibia National Paralympic Committee, and the Commerce Schools Sports Union. The Namibia Paralympic Committee has been asked to withdraw its team from the upcoming championships in South Africa by its prime benefactor, the Ministry of Sport, Youth and National Service. The annual South African Sports Association for Physically Disabled National Championships brings together athletes from 9 South African provinces and other Southern African countries to compete in various categories. The 2023 edition of the championships is scheduled for Cape Town, South Africa from the 17th to the 23rd of March 2023, where Team Namibia had plans of competing in para-athletics, para-powerlifting, bokasia, paracycling and goalball. The Secretary General Michael Hamukwanya said the NPC has set up a pathway to follow if they are to have enough slots for the upcoming 2024 Paris Paralympic Games. The highlights follows shortly.
Tourismus Namibia is a weekly tourism show that brings you the latest news in the tourism industry and topics related to that. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact tourismus@synergy.com.na for news and advertising related queries. Tourismus, bring the world to Namibia.
3, 2, 1.
We Talk brings you community news that lies at the heart of Windhoek residents. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact wetalk@synergy.com.na. You live, we talk.
Let's take a look at your news highlights from today's broadcast. The Ministry of Gender Equality, Poverty Eradication and Social Welfare said it is worried about the violence and abuse which result in traumatic experiences that have serious, far-reaching and long-lasting, often lifelong consequences for victims and survivors. Namibia currently has no legal framework that governs synthetic energy, despite entering the second year of pushing green hydrogen as a fuel of the future, and is yet to sign an implementation agreement with Hydrogen Energies. The Namibia Paralympic Committee has been asked to withdraw its team from the upcoming championships in South Africa by its prime benefactor, the Ministry of Sports, Youth and National Service. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all the NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, OneUpTwo.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 94 every weekday from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. I am Glenora Shipura. This has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.